Okay, welcome everyone, and we are going to go live on Facebook, so bear with me a second. Let's see here. It's preparing. Directing, we are going live. And we are officially live, you guys. Officially live on Facebook. So here we go. Let me
officially live, you guys. Officially live on Facebook. So here we go. Let me officially live, you guys.
Are you getting feedback?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, so I can't hear you because if I listen to you, I'm listening to myself back. So this is the first time we're going live on Facebook, you guys. We're playing with it. So I'm just going to say, be patient with us. We're trying to figure it out. But welcome everyone who's joining us. I'm excited you're here tonight. I can't believe we're doing this live on Facebook. We are definitely stretching ourselves, which is exciting. So thank you all for being here. I'm excited because tonight you're going to meet some of these incredible people here that are our panelists. And I want to say they are so willing to be vulnerable, to share their health stories with you in hopes that they can help someone else. And that's what I love about them. They were personally selected because of their heart and willingness to share with other people. And that's what it's all about. We are actually impacting our communities. And that's not just locally. Because of things like this, we are actually across the entire country impacting lives in many different communities. And I'm so excited about that. I want to remind you that we are not here to prevent, cure, or treat any disease. We're just going to be sharing some personal stories that are near and dear to us, each of us our own personal journeys. So welcome again, and thank you for being here. My name is Beth Black. I'm a certified nutraceutical coach. I am also a certified lifestyle coach. I was originally educated as an occupational therapist and a fitness professional. And I have been so passionate about my holistic health journey for over 40 years. That's unbelievable. Dedicated to my own health, my family's health. And then that almost 28 years ago grew out into other communities that I started being a coach. And so I'm happy to be here with all of you and our panelists. And some of you may know us well, some of you may not. Some of you are familiar with NutriMetrics or the name Isotonics, or maybe NutriMetrics, or I'm sorry, nutritional supplements or nutritional foods that you need to be eating. Others not, and that's okay. Just everybody take a deep breath. It's all good. I want you to take a moment and write down the name of the person that invited you and message them in the chat. Reach out to them, connect with them. They're waiting for you to connect with them. Okay, they might not know you're even here, especially if you're live on Facebook with us. If you're the person who didn't even know your friend was somehow involved with some kind of NutriMetrics isotonics thing, or knew nothing about it behind the scenes or whatever, and you'd like to learn a little bit more behind the scenes, or maybe at the end of the night, we walk through different options for you, and you simply want to just start upgrading your health. No, just throw your name in the chat and email, and that person will reach out and contact you. We will connect with you for a further conversation because tonight is not about selling you anything. We are here simply to share information, supporting you and getting your health back, whatever that looks like for you. It might be more vitality, more energy. It might be losing the extra weight, whatever you hope and pray for. That's what we want to share with you tonight. And we're excited to hear from our panelists. As you listen, something might ring a bell and go, oh, that hits me. She's talking to me. He's talking to me. Sometimes we feel very directed, don't we? I know I always have in my life when I'm listening to people. So when you hear that, reach out in the chat, ask questions, interact, engage in the chat. Let's have fun with this. Further the conversation after tonight. So welcome to everyone on Facebook Live, welcome on Zoom, and welcome to our panelists. So let's kick off tonight. I'm so excited because this first panelist who's going to bring her story to you is a longtime friend of mine. As a matter of fact, we went to high school together. So that was a long time ago. I knew her as a very smart girl. And I wasn't far from wrong because she ended up in a career in finance and accounting. But life happens. And here we are today. And so it was really her reaching out to me in a time of struggle when times got tough. And we connected, and now she's helping others upgrade their health. And I don't think she thought that was going to be her journey, but please welcome from Virginia, Charlotte Arter.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. I'll just give a brief story.
Charlotte.
I'm not muted.
Everybody, I'll just give a.
Can you not hear me?
No, we can hear you.
Oh, I heard someone say they couldn't hear me. I'm sorry. In 2007, I was really immunocompromised because I'd been battling Lyme disease for several years, and I was taking long-term antibiotics to treat it. And right after that, I was exposed to chemicals when I was sent to work in a building that was still under construction. And I was in that building for 3 days for work, and I was left so chemically sensitive that I couldn't eat and keep food down, and even water touching my skin would burn me. I went to several doctors. They knew something was wrong with my immune system, but they really weren't sure how to help me. So I got very desperate and went on Facebook and reached out. Beth Black reached out to me and said, "What is going on with you?" So I told her, and she sent me 2 products that helped me to begin to recover. Those 2 products were a digestive enzyme by Isotonics and OPC3 by Isotonics. I started taking them immediately. Within 2 days, I actually began to start to recover. I was able to keep food down. So I knew they were working. I was kind of wondering how that could happen so quickly, because most things take, 30 days to see what's going on. But in 2 days, I was doing better. What I found out was it's the Isotonics delivery system that was the key to this, because this is a crystallized powder you mix with 2 ounces of water. You drink it on an empty stomach, and it gets released into your intestine very, very quickly. So you get about 90 to 95% bioavailability. So for me, it was almost like taking an IV supplement, 2 of them. And the other thing I learned was OPC3 is one of the world's most powerful antioxidants. And so therefore, this was helping my body fight off the chemical exposure, while the digestive enzymes were helping my immune system recover after 2 years of constant antibiotic use. I also learned that OPCs are so powerful that there are actually books written about them. This one's called Live Better Longer: The Science Behind the Amazing Health Benefits of OPC. I still take these 2 products and a few more every single day, and I have for years. And I'm happy to say that thanks to Isotonics, I am a fully functioning 61-year-old who doesn't take any regular medications. And I credit Isotonics for that, and Beth. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Can you hear me? Okay. This is fascinating because I can't hear all of you, or it's giving me feedback. So I'm mouth reading tonight. So I just want to say this. I already know Charlotte's story, and I'm sure you will agree it's very impactful. And that book, The Bomb, I love that book, man. I learned so much from it. But think, how many people do you know out there who are dealing with challenges like this, who are immunocompromised or had chemical sensitivities? I was one of those. We all have these things going, but let's keep things moving. You can always put something in the chat, reach out to Charlotte if you want to learn more. But let's keep things moving. This next lady is also a dear friend, albeit much younger than us. I often lovingly refer to her as my mini-me. I'm actually very happy she's relocated to Florida to be closer to us. That's not why she relocated to Florida, but she is closer to us, and I love that. But how many people do you know that no matter what their age, suffer from challenges that are stirred up from stress? We all know people like this because we know that stress affects us physically, it affects us mentally, emotionally, in so many different areas. And not only has she upgraded her own health, she's impacted so many other people on her young journey. And so please help me welcome Emily Logan.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I am so excited to be here. And I do love knowing that I am closer to my mentors, my wonderful friends, who are just, you have to surround yourself with people who think just like you, because you learn things along the way, which has a big part to do with my story tonight. A few years back, I was going through what obviously was the most stressful time of my life. I was going through a lot of personal things, whether it be personal family things, financial, as well as work. And for me at the time, it seemed like the world was kind of crumbling on me from every angle, every aspect. And when I say it was the most stress I'd ever been, obviously, because my body was speaking to me in ways it had never spoken before. I was experiencing things that I didn't even know were physically possible. My jaw was tightening to the point where I could not chew my food. I couldn't close my mouth. It would be like I was attempting to close it and it would pop to the side. So I never could physically close my mouth. That was causing me to cry myself to sleep if I was getting any sleep. I was in a lot of pain, a lot of pain. So I actually was speaking to my dear friend and mentor, and she knows I'm a researcher. I love my science stuff that I nerd out on. And I was asking her, what are some things that I could look into to add to my daily regimen that I was already doing with my vitamins? And she mentioned to look into bromelain and adding that along with my OPC, which Charlotte just mentioned about and what that book is referring to. So of course I dove into it. I did a lot of research on it and fell in love with some things that I had read. I immediately had it overnighted and I decided to start taking 2 servings of my bromelain, my wonderful bromelain, along with 2 servings of the OPC. And I was taking the 2 servings twice a day. And I kid you not, on everything in this world that I love, within 2 weeks, I was able to chew my food regularly. I was able to close my mouth normally without having to see a single doctor or take a single medication or be prescribed anything. And that was huge to me because I didn't want to just go and settle for something that I knew my body could do better naturally, right? So let me tell you some things that I found out about bromelain and why it stuck out to me. What is bromelain? Bromelain is an enzyme. So your body has cells inside of it that can actually disguise themselves with a protein shield, kind of like a protein disguise. The enzyme is going to come into the body and it recognizes and spots out those disguises and it helps break down that shield. So it's going to promote optimal cell health, which is going to give your body the chance to naturally heal itself. It helps promote that healing process in the body naturally. And that's what we want to go for in life, right? So I partnered that bromelain along with my OPC. And some things that I read more about bromelain that Dr. Deidre Mason, Dr. D is our director of clinical research and education. I listen to everything that she says. And she posted an article and was speaking about an article from the Washington Daily News. And in this article, I was reading that some researchers they were blown away with some things that they had found on bromelain. And they referred to it as some cute little things that I will always remember. One was the secret health handshake. Another one was Heart's Little Helper. So these are things that researchers are really genuinely saying that help us internally. And then you partner that with OPC, which is the superhero, like Charlotte said. This antioxidant is life-changing beyond words. So do not ask me to pronounce OPC. That's why we call it OPC. But I can tell you that something really amazing, pycnogenol, is in that. And this is the purest form of pycnogenol that you could get. So pycnogenol is derived from a pine bark. So it's all natural, again, in the body, and that's helping heal naturally, right? So some things that I love about OPC here, I'm going to read for you, is it helps promote the cardiovascular health. It helps maintain healthy cholesterol and blood glucose levels. That's a tongue twister. It helps maintain healthy circulation because it's going to strengthen your capillaries, your arteries, your veins. That's what we need to strengthen, right? In everything, every area. And then it also helps assist in maintaining healthy joint flexibility. So back to some of the issues that I was having, that's exactly what these 2 things were doing and helping me. So Again, I'm glad that I could be here in Florida to be closer to Beth so that she could even sprinkle the word bromelain onto me so that I could dive into this. And I don't know where I would be without these two items. So I want to now introduce a wonderful friend of mine. She actually started off as a client and customer of mine. She was a personal training client, and she came to me with some issues and concerns, and I suggested some stuff to her that I had seen help some other friends of mine. I would love to introduce you all to a wonderful friend of mine. Her name is Erica Williamson. Erica, welcome.
Okay.
Welcome. If you would be so wonderful to please share your story as well.
Yes, thank you, Emily. Hello, everyone. I'm Erica. Emily's been my personal trainer and health coach since about 2019. I've been working really hard to live a healthier lifestyle, and I recently started a new job in a completely different field. What was I thinking? So with all the new stress from the career change on top of moving to a new state 9 hours away from my hometown a few months ago, I noticed that I was struggling with a lot of food cravings, digestive issues, having a hard time sleeping at night, and I was just really hitting a plateau in the weight loss journey. So Emily recommended the TLS 7-day detox kit, and I really wanted to jumpstart this year with making better choices for myself and kick these cravings. I would go from craving something sweet to then craving something salty and then never being satisfied. It was a tough battle. I also read that it was a cleanse for your liver and colon as well. The TLS 7-day detox kit actually helped me learn a lot about low glycemic food and making better choices, which helped with inflammation as well, which I've noticed. I've lost a total of 11 pounds on the 7-day detox kit, and I can say that my cravings have absolutely been curbed, and I actually sleep through the night, which is insane. We all need the sleep.
Wow, thank you, Erica, so much for coming on here as a customer and sharing your story. It's so amazing what we can do to change lives. And thank you, Emily, for reaching out to her to help her. Because again, who do you know out there who's in need and just waiting for somebody to reach out to them? So kudos to you for reaching out to her and connecting and creating that conversation, because that's where it all starts. But I'm going to say this, wow, like I'm going to repeat these things, you guys, about that bromelain. Nature's Ice Pack, allergy antagonist, the protein whisperer. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this. So like that allergy antagonist thing, that just like really speaks to me loud, because that's what I was plagued with for years in my teens, my 20s. And I suffered through many, many seasons of this until I found things like the OPC3 and the bromelain. And I had tried many, many different natural approaches. My husband can attest to that. I tried many natural approaches for many years, but that OPC and bromelain is a winner. So I want to say this, who's up next? Next up is another dear friend. Of course, as you're learning, all of these people are my dear friends, because that's why I invited them to be on here with me, because I know that they have incredible hearts. This friend also is from Florida. You guys, it's a long state. We don't all live in the same area. But this lady saw the results of our products 20 years ago with her father. And last year, when she approached some challenges in her own life, she reached out to me. And here we are a year later, and I'm sure that many of you are going to relate to her very common story. And so with no further ado, please help me welcome Lois Floyd.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for everyone that is attending through the webinar and online with Facebook. This is very exciting. I just want to remind everyone, however, that these statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration, and they're not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure anything. We're sharing our stories, and I'm going to share mine because I think a lot of people can relate, especially in Florida with the, I don't know, lack of change of season, but we still have change of season, which affects our sinuses. And let me tell you, in 2018, suddenly I started having these crazy sinus infections between November and February that I would have 2, 3, sometimes 4 a month, or not a month, but basically 1 a month for that 4-month period. It was crazy. So I reached out to Beth like last year, and I'm like, all right, we got to do something. I can't go through another year of sinus infections. So my wonderful friend and coach invited me to try Isotonic's Daily Essentials. Now, she said, I have known about these products for quite some time, fell off the wagon, but I knew that they worked. Okay, they were amazing for my father. So started taking the Daily Essentials that has that wonderful OPC antioxidant in there, multivitamin, a B complex, and a calcium. All of these things wrapped up together do so many wonderful things for your body. Additionally, I started taking Immune Plus. Now, this was very different from Isotonics, but Immune Plus actually has echinacea, ginseng, reishi mushroom, and all these other things like that are also antioxidants that help build up our immune system, which extremely helped me in my immune system. So I can say I've been sinus infection free this past winter, last winter. I mean, this is very exciting for anybody that suffers from sinus infections and has to be on antibiotics all the time. It's no fun. And I'm very excited to share this information with you because it was helpful to me, and I know that it will be helpful to you if you want to try it. So there you go. That's my story.
Oh my gosh, this is so fun. So, you guys, sadly, most people don't even know that they're not getting their vitamins to absorb. You know, people don't even realize that we're taking vitamins. We know that vitamins move off the shelves very quickly, but the Isotonics delivery is the closest that you can get to an IV without getting hooked up to a needle. You just simply mix the little cocktail, mix the crystals with water and drink them. I mean, and let me tell you something, it tastes good. It's not like this is a horrible tasting vitamin or anything. It tastes good. And you can actually mix and match different things together, kind of like in that Daily Essentials, and it makes a little juicy drink. But it's not just a little juicy drink. As I used to tell my kids, that's a really expensive juice. Like, do not waste it. You want to make sure you're taking that and taking every last drop, you guys. But thank you so much, Lois. And I know you're on the road to a much healthier life ahead. You have really embraced this lifestyle. And what I love about it is she's giving back to her community now. Even though she just started on her own health journey a year ago, you're now turning around and helping so many people and sharing it with so many people and changing lives every day. So thank you so much. Because that's what we do. We're a part of a larger community, all working together and collaborating together. Okay, so this next person is very near and dear to my heart for over 45 years. So, okay, I know that we went to high school together, Charlotte and I, and actually we went to middle school together, junior high as we called it back then. And I probably knew Charlotte a little longer than I've known this next person, but I haven't known her as intimately as I have this next person. As a matter of fact, this next person is my best friend since I was the age of 15. He is my husband. He is also from Florida, but the next room over. And so please help me welcome Philip, or we also know him as Pip, as his friends call him, Philip Pip Black.
Thank you. Thank you. So as Beth alluded to, our children were actually on these products. And in fact, our son was the first one in our family to be introduced to OPC3 because he had health challenges as a 22-month-old child. But when we saw dramatic results from him, I figured I have to try it because I had been suffering from lower posterior inflammation, also known as hemorrhoids, for quite a few years. And it was extremely painful. And I was dealing with the pain and the itching. And so it didn't take much for me to at least try this because it was a lot better than some of the other remedies that my wife was trying to get me to try. But what happened was, the pain and itch subsided. And I thought, well, that's strange. So I took myself off of this product a couple times just for science sake, just to see if it would work or if, anything wouldn't work. And the pain and itching came back when I stopped. So I will tell you honestly, from 1997 until today, I haven't missed a day of taking this. Now, Charlotte introduced the book, Live Better Longer. And I just want to say there's a ton of science in there. So if you want to learn about oligomeric proanthocyanidins, which is OPCs, they are in that book and you can learn in detail. But I was so enamored with this product, and I knew through studying and research that our food was not nutritious at all, that the nutrients were gone from our food. And I knew that almost everybody has to supplement in order to get the minimum levels of certain minerals and vitamins. So I was open to trying vitamin C. I was open to trying vitamin D along with K2. Vitamin D and K2 are synergistic. You need them both, and they're both in that product. And another important mineral, magnesium. Magnesium is extremely difficult to absorb in the body because it's a hard mineral. And before Isotonics magnesium, I literally used magnesium as a spray and rubbed it on my skin because that was the easiest way to get it to absorb until Isotonics came around. Now, I'm someone who loves the science. Like I said, I appreciate the fact that this company provides the science on the website for just about every product. And not only that, they have quality control, multiple steps of quality control throughout the entire process, so you know what you're getting. Amazing, amazing stuff. So if you're a guest on here, get with the person who invited you to learn more.
You know, this is not the guy that I talked to about health many years ago. He thought he was healthy. You know, sometimes you can't talk to your spouse about health and they listen to, well, for that matter, it could be anything. But we won't go there tonight, right? We're not going there. We're being all nice and cozy. This is cozy health conversations, right? Cozy on up. But I love this story because how many people do you know who have aches and pains and aren't willing to talk about them openly? So if that's you or somebody you know, reach out in the chat, set up a private chat. Let's talk about it. Open that conversation because you don't have to suffer. He suffered for years and didn't even tell me. His own wife, his own best friend, didn't even tell me. And so I tell you, as we move forward here, it's so important. That's why we say reach out to somebody, because with nutritional interventions, a lot can change for a lot of people. So this next woman came into my life already absolutely loving our Isotonics delivery. She was actually already using the Isotonics, was very familiar with our daily essentials that we've already gone over. And she has some stories I think you might relate to. Just a reminder, we're not here to treat, cure, or prevent any disease. We are just sharing our own stories, our own personal journeys in hopes that, like us, you can learn something that's going to better support you as you go forward. So Yvette is also from Florida, but she's a walking testament to the power of our products at the young age of 70-something. I'll leave that up for your discretion. So my dear friend, Yvette Urquhart, can you please share with everyone tonight?
Thank you, Beth. Thank you. I can't say enough about the love and support from you and Pip and from our community. Good evening, everyone. And, just in case you're guessing, I'm going to be 72 years young on my next birthday, which is coming up in a few months. But you've already heard about the power and delivery of Isotonics and our OPC3, but I wanted to just share a little bit of my own testimony. As Beth said, I've been using the Isotonic supplements now for over 10 years, and I stand firmly by them today. Supplementation is important, but I've never been a fan of the over-the-counter vitamins, and especially those huge, what I call horse pills that are often very hard to swallow. Our Isotonics supplements, as you have heard several times tonight, are crystals, and when mixed with water are drinkable. And it just doesn't get any easier than that. OPC3 is part of my product sharing tonight, has really helped to calm my seasonal allergies. I'm originally from New York, and up north, allergy seasons are true seasons, right? With breaks in between. There's a winter, fall, spring, and summer. But here in Florida, allergy seasons seem to last forever, and just with different pollen. So this has been a game changer for me in helping to keep my allergies under control without having to take medications, which I had been taking for many, many years. So this is my go-to, as it is many of the people that you've heard from tonight already. But about 2 years ago, I attended a product seminar and learned about pet health OPC formula, and the light bulb went off. I knew what OPC3 was doing for me, and now I could provide the same help to my beloved fur baby, my dog, Marley. Marley has seasonal allergies, which have him constantly sneezing, and his eyes were running, and all of that congestion often led to his getting ear infections. So Pet Health OPC, and here it is, has made a big difference in calming those allergic reactions that he was experiencing to pollen. It also saved me money because it reduced the number of trips to the vet and the meds that I would have to buy. I often say to Marley, he needs to get a job with some of the expense that I had occurred previously, having to take him to the vet so often. And I was very frustrated when the vet would prescribe pills because he just wouldn't take them. No matter what I did, I could crush him, try to hide them in those pill pockets, and he would just give me a look like, come on, mama, I'm not stupid. I know that there's a pill in there and I'm not taking it. But with this stuff, with Pet OPC, I just have to sprinkle it because it's powdery crystals. I sprinkle it over his food, he eats it, and it's no problem. So while my testimonies tonight are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure any disease, what I can say without any doubt is that my fur baby Marley is healthier, and because of that, I'm happier. So let me switch gears for a minute because there's another product that I'd like to talk with you about, and that is our weight loss TLS 30-day Jumpstart Kit. I first participated in a shrink-a-size program that this wonderful company hosted about 2 years ago, and I was using the kit as part of that particular challenge program. And while the products are top-notch, it was really all the resource materials and education that was included that I really appreciated. I learned from TLS experts about a healthier approach to food and to eating, and the value of what I learned using the 30-day Jumpstart Kit far exceeded the 13.5 pounds that I lost as a part of that 30-day challenge. So today I still use the kit's products, the daily essentials, which several of my colleagues have spoken about tonight. A product called Core, which is a fat and carb inhibitor. These super delicious nutrition shakes that are great, not only as a meal replacement, but also great for muscle recovery after a workout. And they taste absolutely heavenly. And the containers are really a nice size. I'll just show you one, but 2 of them actually come with the kit. So you really do get a good value for the price. And it also includes the NutriCleanse, which my teammate Erica spoke about, and I still do cleanse about every 6 months using this system that's included in the 30-day Jumpstart Kit. So you get everything that you need in one kit to start your weight loss journey. And I so believe in this kit that I'm blessed currently to coach several of my customers using it. We learn, we laugh, and we lose weight. Doesn't get any better than that.
Oh my gosh, I love this. Yes, Emily. We learn, we laugh, and we lose weight, or we lose fluff, or we get healthy, whatever it is, we do it all. Yvette, you're so amazing and so inspiring. And thank you so much for sharing your vibrancy and your love of all people. I mean, amazing. But yes, love you too. And we love Marley too, just so you know. He's the cutest. He's absolutely adorable. And we love our community when we're sharing and supporting others through our health journeys. You know, you guys, I know she just mentioned, but we have lots of scientific support materials, lots of tools, lots of things behind the scenes. So we are constantly educating and doing things that go way beyond just telling a story, but actually educating, because when we educate ourselves, we start to learn what our bodies need, what we need to do, how we put things together, what works synergistically together. That, you know, vitamin D with K2 works together. That's how it works in the body. We educate on all this, but I want to say this, that it doesn't end here. We always offer educational events. So like tomorrow night, you have the opportunity, if you want to come back, not to hear health stories, but to actually learn about some of what we do and learn about health and education. You can come back and learn that tomorrow night. Or also on March 12th, we'll be coming together. If tomorrow night's too soon for you, just grab that link from the person who invited you and get connected. Again, if you're getting the message, it's really about getting connected and joining us together. But drop a message with your email in the chat, because again, if you're on Facebook or if you're on here on the webinar, they might not know you're here. So you just have to message them in the chat and let them know you're here to make sure that they have your email so you can connect with them. And any one of us will be happy to get connected with you to help anybody. So just so you know, tomorrow night and March 12th are private events. So you do need an invite link to that. Everyone has a story, you guys, everyone. But I'm going to say this next one really made me wake up. And it made me wake up because it made me realize how at risk some people were. It's honestly amazing that I even got to meet this gentleman, quite honestly, because he is a dear friend from North Carolina, and he's going to share his story, his near-death story, not once, not twice, but multiple times. And so I'm not going to steal his thunder. So please help me welcome, inspire us, my friend, Paul Wendt.
Thank you, Beth, and hello, everyone. Yes, my story has definitely been a long journey. Looking back to when I was a young boy, I discovered my health challenge at the young age of 5. One afternoon when I was 5 years old, I climbed about 15 feet up in a tree, went to sleep, and of course, I fell out and broke my arm. I can also remember my parents taking me to a pediatrician throughout my teenage years because I was always active. I played all the sports, and my pediatrician always told my parents, he's just tired and he's sleepy because he's active. He's completely normal. Now, fast forward about 40 years. After living with that just constant chronic issue, and yes, causing and being involved in multiple car accidents, that's a different story. That's a long story. I actually learned through 3 sleep studies that I had 2 sleeping disorders, resulting in me in taking 2 heavy-duty narcotic prescriptions. So after 10 years of taking those prescriptions, my doctor left practice and turned me over to another doctor. The new doctor would not prescribe the same prescriptions due to the high dosage. So I didn't have anything else to do but to turn to over-the-counter supplements, and I did not have any success whatsoever with them. Around the same time, Denise and I were invited to a business meeting with Pip and Beth. To my surprise, we sat on the very front row of this meeting, and I found myself dozing and nodding off through the morning. During the break, I'm sure Pip kept looking at me and saw me. He offered me a hot mocha tonic drink. Man, it was so good, I asked for another one. And to my surprise, even after eating, I was alert the entire afternoon. So for the last 7 years, I've been able to eliminate those prescriptions out of my my life completely. A daily regimen includes multiple servings, about 4 servings a day of Mocha Tonics and 2 Thermochrome B6 pills. Mocha Tonics comes in 3 flavors. Chocolate is my favorite. It also comes in vanilla and cappuccino. It's a powder that you can mix with hot water or coffee. I use mine in either sometimes. And this delicious drink helps me to increase energy, keeps me awake, promotes fat burning, and helps heighten the awareness and endurance levels. The Thermochrome V6 is a tablet. It also supports focus, attention, and thermogenics. Thanks to these 2 supplements, they have helped me greatly every day with no side effects. And that's a blessing. And I don't have to really be concerned about the long-term side effects of those heavy-duty prescriptions.
Holy cannoli. You guys, is that not inspiring or what? Like every time I hear that, I never tire of hearing this story. It's amazing you're alive, my dear.
It is.
Amazing, amazing. And we are so thankful and grateful that you are, because you're such an amazing man. Can you see everyone here, the vitality in them, the energy, the excitement, the love of life? The bioavailability of these products is really the superhero. It's the delivery system of these products. For Paul to get such a result like that. And Denise was so worried that day. She was like, I don't know if we can sit in the front. And I said, don't worry, we've got something we can give him. And she was like, what do you got? So I just, it's amazing. It's amazing. But there's nothing to replace that feeling of improving someone's life, is there? And that's why we do what we do. So our next panelist is actually married to Paul, which is why they're sitting so close together. And actually, she is responsible for us meeting Paul, because I actually met Denise through a mutual friend many, many years ago. And she was actually in the mortgage industry at the time. And I can honestly tell you, she had no sense that she was ever going to be doing this tonight. I mean, back then she didn't have any sense that she was going to ever help anybody with their health, because she had her own challenges going on. But life has an interesting way of making twists and turns, does it not? And she is not only a certified nutraceutical consultant like myself and many others here, but she's also a certified functional nutritionist. She actually went back to school to be able to help more people, and she's impacting lives with her story, with her knowledge, with her guidance, and most importantly, with her heart. And so please help me welcome the other half of Paul, Denise Wendt, the better half, right?
That's, of course.
That's right.
I've trained him well. Thank you so much, Beth. And yes, it has definitely been a journey that I never expected to see myself go through. And the health part of my journey really began about 8 years ago, but it was the result of some medical challenges that I went through over 20 years ago that no one warned me about, that I might have repercussions from. For simplicity, I'll just tell you this, that I basically developed a hole in my skin that was in some old scar tissue.
I was just watering.
I spent over a year in and out of doctor's offices, seeing referral after referral after referral. And none of them knew exactly what was going on with me, so they just didn't know how to treat it. After countless creams and ointments and even what they called stem cell patches and various other treatments, their last hope that they offered me was a very invasive surgery. I just knew that there had to be another option. I did not want to go through surgery. And I remember that meeting with Beth many years ago. And I knew that, we met in a health and wellness kind of setting. And I was thankful that I had kept in touch with her throughout the years. And so I still had her contact information. So I reached out to her and I told her what was going on and just asked her what she would do. And so we discussed several options, and they included pretty much every isotonic product that you've heard people talk about tonight already, as well as a couple of other things. One of those was resveratrol. I don't know if you can see that. And one of my favorite is our daily greens. So these were two of the things that I added to those other things, the bromelain, the daily essentials, all of those things. But the resveratrol is an amazing antioxidant. So it supports cell health as well as promotes apoptosis, which is basically the ability for your body to break down and destroy those old damaged cells so that they can be flushed out of your system and don't block the healing of new cells being formed. And the complete greens helped my body by providing nutrients and phytonutrients that it needed to work optimally, because even though I thought I was eating healthy, the food today just doesn't have the quality of nutrients in it. And so I think we all need daily greens every day, just to help support our body. For convenience, because like I said, I was taking a lot of things, we decided to create a custom cocktail. So what this allows us to do is put all of those isotonics products, because they all blend together so well, put them all in this little tub, and it makes it easier for me to fix my daily custom cocktail. That's what I do every morning. Another thing that we talked about was my diet. And no, I don't mean in the commercial sense of a diet. We don't believe in diets. But what we were talking about was, what was my daily intake of food? What did that look like? Because like I said, I thought I ate fairly healthy. But I learned about the Transitions Lifestyle program that Yvette talked about. And when I really got into that and learned more about it, I realized that in order to support my body to be able to work at its best, I really needed to make some changes in the food that I was eating, the daily intake that I was putting into my body. So incorporating that custom cocktail and the TLS lifestyle system allowed my body to work more efficiently and effectively. And I am really excited to tell you guys that I never had to have that crazy surgery that the doctors were recommending.
We are so thankful. If you know Denise, you need to get in the chat, connect with her, and ask her for her holy granulation story. It's funny now. It wasn't funny back then. But I'll never forget the day she called me and she said, I have to tell you this story. And just say holy granulation and leave it at that. She'll know exactly what you mean. So isn't this inspiring? So much fun, you guys. I hope you're all having fun. I'm seeing the chat working up over here. It's exciting. I know we're inspiring, and that's great. That's why we came here. This is the power of getting correct nutrition in our bodies. You know, sometimes we take better care of our pets. We take better care of our cars. We take better care of our lawns, our plants. You wouldn't not think to not water your plant. Well, maybe some of you would, but you know, if you don't water it, it's not going to continue to thrive. And so that's what we're doing. We're basically putting good nutrients into our soil to be able to thrive and to be able to live a full life of vitality. And so these are all amazing stories, and I couldn't leave without sharing some of my own, because quite honestly, I've been on this journey a very long time. And you know, it's pretty vital for good health to be able to talk about something that's not always so pleasant, but it was pretty vital to me. And I have this conversation almost daily, so I'm going to bring it up, and that's elimination. And here I'm going to say it. The word, you know what? Poop. And yep, I just said it live on webinar, live on Facebook. Here I am, but we're going to go there. And why? Because let me tell you something. When I was a teen, I was lucky if I went twice a week. And so I had no idea that that was connected to my skin problems, my bloated gut, the fact that I had headaches going on. As a teen and 20-something, you guys, I had regular stomach issues. I had monthly menstrual issues. No one ever mentioned to me that this might be coming from my gut and from the fact that I wasn't eliminating. So those digestive enzymes help me, but I'm going to mention one other product, and that's this, Ultimate Aloe. I had tried so many natural aloe products in the marketplace, and I had never gotten any grand results. When I started this, I took 1 to 2 ounces every single day of this at the beginning for like the first 6 months, until I suddenly realized I felt like my system had gotten stronger and I was moving things out on a more, regular basis, if you might. And with that, I started seeing my skin clearing up. I started knowing I wasn't as bloated. And so all these other things led to the rest of my health story. And I started leaning into the digestive enzymes that Charlotte mentioned at the beginning, because they helped me a lot as well. And I still take these every single day, 27 years later, because they help me digest my food. They give me some good probiotics in my gut, those little healthy gut bacteria that need to be in there to help, eliminate. We won't say that word again. But here's the thing. I want to say this. I was looking for something for my children as well. And so when I looked for something for my children, aloe and digestive enzymes were that thing, because kids don't always eat the right thing. And then I added on daily essentials for them, and it was a game changer. So there's a lot of things you can do. It doesn't matter age level. Yes, we have things for children, and I will say we also have things for babies and toddlers. And I'm grateful for that, because now that we have grandkids, it's important to me that we also have things for the younger generation, because back in the day, we basically had to find ways to give them our adult version in smaller doses. And now we have specific children's things. I want to say this though, because I was also aware of my skin challenges back in my 20s. I realized that I started realizing that health starts from the inside out, but our environment is so toxic. And if we don't protect it from what's coming from the outside in, your skin's the largest organ. And so I was looking for other things, and I was a little bit leery of trying products, because I had tried a lot of products that had really dried up my skin, or I felt like they made my skin oily. And so I was a little bit nervous, but I was introduced to this botanical line called Skintelligence. And when I tried Skintelligence, it pH balanced my skin in about 2 to 3 months, and my skin started feeling like a baby's butt. I've said a couple of things on here tonight that maybe no one else wanted to say, but I guess that's what happens when you get over 60 years of age. You just start blurting things out. But with that being said, I also knew I needed something to protect me, not only from the elements, but to really be able to feed my skin nutritionally from the outside in. And so that led me to this bottle, Pentaxel, which I have been using for over 20 years, every single night. I know, Denise, I love, love, love. And it has helped me and carried me into my 60s. I will mention one other product, because I mentioned the big old poop word. So I'm going to be talking to the women here for just a second, because you men don't have the same problem we do. You women, you know what I'm talking about. We get out and we start traveling, and guess what? We have a little issue in the public bathrooms, don't we? Well, this little tiny bottle, NutriClean Aloe Fiber, is magic. It works so effectively, and it's what keeps me on track when we're traveling. And if some of you know me, you know we travel a lot. And so I want to say thank you for joining us. We're coming to the end. I have a few announcements as we come to a close. We mentioned that we were going to have some options for you when we started. And let me just try and not screw up my screen here, because all of a sudden things went really big on me. And although it makes it easier to see, it's not good when you only have 2 words to look at. So first of all, I mentioned it before, if you love this event, thank you again for joining us. But if you love this event and you want more information, or maybe it sat with you that you went, oh, I wish so-and-so would have heard this, let us know, because grab that link for tomorrow night or for March 12th and join us. Come learn about the products a little bit more, learn about nutrition, learn about the health of our environment and how we can truly feed our plant, our tree, our soil, to be able to be the best version of ourselves. So let's get into these options. And what is a fit for you? Option 1, reach out, make that connection with the person who invited you here tonight. and let them know what spoke to you. Because again, this isn't about us trying to sell you something. We want to know what spoke to you. Where are your challenges that you're dealing with? And let us know. Maybe you want to try a few products and you already know what you want to try, or maybe you'd like to even try a few little samples. Make sure they have your email, because they're going to send you an exclusive link that's going to connect you with discount codes. Okay, so make sure that you have that, because if you go on and just start searching, you're not going to get that special exclusive link with the discount. So make sure you connect with that. Option 2. Hopefully tonight created some questions for you. I know it did for all of us. And those questions needed to be answered. And so we were looking for more of a private consultation. We're willing to do that. Jump into the chat, message the person, text them afterwards, however, get in touch with that person and connect with them to be able to set up a private consultation. To be able to really guide you as to what the best thing would be for you to start with. It can be a little overwhelming. We went over a lot of different stories, a lot of different products, and we want you to know that if you reach out while everything's fresh in your mind, then you won't lose track of that, and we'll be able to really do a health survey with you and dig a little bit deeper. Okay, what is option 3 as we come to a close? Maybe you're that person like all of us, and you're sitting there going, wow, they're happy people and they're a community. And they're like, how did they get from accountant and mortgage broker and human resources and all these other things to helping people with their health? How did they do that? Well, I want you to know that you might have that curiosity like we had, and you are able to come and we will actually have that conversation with you. Reach out, ask for that conversation. Let's have a conversation, see if this may or may not be a fit for you. We don't know that. It may be and it may not be, but connect with that person. We won't make any promises, but we'll surely explore the possibilities with you. It is not for everybody, we know that, but it may be for you. So as we close tonight, I just want to thank each and every one of our panelists for being so vulnerable to share. I want to thank everyone that's joined us on Facebook Live for our first live. I want to thank everyone that's joined us on Zoom and engaging in the chats. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to serve you tonight, and I speak on behalf of our entire panel. Thank you, and we hope you come back to have that conversation. Good night, everybody.
Good night.